12 Labors of Hercules by Krista, Brea, Jacob, and Chris. The table of contents. Hercules set out to retrieve the hide of the lion, who could not be wounded. To defeat the lion, Hercules clubbed him to death in its own claws to skin the lion. From that day, Hercules wore its hide as a trophy. Okay, faster.
I know, I'm trying.
Hercules then had to face a serpent with 9 heads. One of these was even mortal. Hercules tried to cut off its heads, but 2 more would replace each one that was slain. To prevent the heads from growing back, Hercules had his nephew, Iolaus, burn the stump of a snake. Hercules then buried the immortal head under a huge rock and dipped his arrows in the hydra's venom. The deer was a very sacred animal to Artemis, who would release his wrath on anybody who attempted to harm this creature. Hercules chased the deer for a year before catching it, and on the way back to Eurystheus, Artemis demanded that the animal be released. Hercules released the animal and blamed his cousin for the theft. Hercules then came across the Eurythrian boar, who had ravaged the land around Mount Erebus. Hercules chased the boar out of its hiding place into a deep snow where he trapped it. He brought the animal back to Eurythrius, who was so terrified that he cowered in a large jar. The stables of King August had never been cleaned, and Hercules sent to accomplish the disgusting feat. To clean the stables, Hercules diverted 2 rivers to flow through the stables, rinsing them out. Next, Hercules required to shoot the birds that contained feathers that they shot like iron. Hercules brought them out of their hiding with a pair of castanets that were given to him by Athena. After he drew the birds out of its hiding, Hercules shot them with his arrows. The bull ravaged the land of Crete. Hercules caught the bull and brought it back to Thetis, who turned it loose. Eventually, Thetis sacrificed it on the plains of Marathon. Diomedes was a Theban king who owned a herd of horses that fed on human flesh. Hercules got possession of them and fed them to the flesh of their master. Then he sailed back home with the horses. Eurystheus set them free and dedicated them to Hera. Hippolyta was queen of the Amazons, a fierce tribe of warlike women. These women only raised female children. Hercules was ordered to take the queen's belt, given to her by Ares for superior military prowess, because Eurystheus' daughter wants the belt.
Hey, good one, Durgan.
Hercules then traveled to the island of Eurythia with the help of Helios, who gave a magical golden cup to sail across the ocean. After he wrestled down grain, he sailed back to Greece. On the way back, Calchas attempted to steal the cattle. After defeating him, Hercules retrieved the cattle and continued his journey to Greece. The Hesperids were 3 daughters of Night who tended a tree with golden apples. The tree was guarded by a 100-mouthed dragon named Ladon. First, Hercules had to find the location of the tree. Then he needed Atlas to pick up the apples for him. He got the apples and tricked Atlas to hold the world again. The final labor was to fetch Cerberus, the 3-headed dog that guarded the underworld. Hades let Hercules borrow Cerberus, but Hercules could not use violence against that dog. So Hercules wrestled the beast, brought him back to Eurythrius, and then back down to the underworld. The end!